Today we're here to discuss food safety. We'll cover essential elements that food workers need to know in order to keep food and their customers safe. We'll demonstrate vital techniques and even speak with some industry experts about proper food handling and why it's important. Without proper food handling practices, the public becomes at risk for foodborne illness or injury from hazards in the foods they consume. Anyone who's had food poisoning or a foodborne illness or injury knows it's an unpleasant. The most important thing is this restaurant clean? The thing Zach looks at is the competence of the person in charge.
Never pick up plates by touching the center. Always pick up plates by the sides. Never touch the center of the plate. You may, however, touch the sides as they are considered non-food touching portions of the plate.
Keeping food fresh for long periods of time in any refrigerator can be a tough challenge. That's why we've invented the Fridge Buddy, a 100% natural filter that has the ability to double the shelf life of produce and eliminate harmful bacteria in your fridge.
And vegetables are bruised, punctured, cut, or otherwise abused, a cascading series of enzymatic reactions occur in the damaged tissue to protect the plant from microbial invaders. You can think of this as part of the plant's immune system. These reactions are also what cause fruits and vegetables to turn brown, and while the protective phenolic pigments are harmless to us, their appearance is not very appetizing. Cooks often use a squeeze of lemon juice to stall this discoloration, but this approach only slows rather than stops so-called enzymatic browning. It also adds a distinct acidic bite to the taste of the food that isn't always welcome. Quickly removing any surrounding oxygen with vacuum packing is a much better way to preserve the fresh appearance of fruits like apples or bananas and vegetables like potatoes or artichokes, all of which are prone to turning brown when peeled and cut. And what about the animal?
Top 5 facts. In this installment, we're counting down the 5 most interesting and important facts that we could find about expiration dates. So listen closely, because this isn't a video you want to leave out to spoil. Number 5. Use by, best by, and sell by are not the same thing. Though labeling laws vary by state and country, here's a general guideline that's at least good for North America. Use by is the indication of when the manufacturer would like the consumer to eat the product. After that date, the product's quality declines quickly and may become unsafe. Sell by is just for retailers. It tells them when the product should be taken off the shelf. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad at that date, and if I was a manufacturer, I might want to have a shorter sell by date so that the retailer would reorder my product more often. And finally, best by is a time frame wherein the product will be most flavorful and have the nutritional content advertised on the label. After that last entry, you might be disappointed hearing your household goods just expired. But don't go emptying out those shelves just yet, because some products last longer than you think. Common dried foods like rice can last up to 25 years, whereas canned products and Twinkies, yes, Twinkies, are often good for 30 years.
Snowballs! Where's the Twinkies?
That may be impressive, but some common products actually never expire. Honey has an infinite shelf life. Archaeologists have even dug up ancient jars of honey that, surprisingly, are still edible.
Nine foods that are safe to eat after the expiration date. Many people think that as soon as the expiration date comes around, their food becomes toxic. While you should always proceed with caution, many of these foods are safe to consume for up to months after the date listed. Milk. Just smell the milk before you drink it. If it smells sour, it should be thrown away. You can also tell it is expired if the milk seems chunky or otherwise discolored. If it smells and looks alright, then it is safe to drink. Meat. While fresh meat shouldn't be eaten more than a day or two past the expiration date, frozen meat can actually keep for months. In fact, you can store frozen meat for a year or longer, depending on its storage. Canned goods. Expiration dates on canned goods are often very wrong. A properly stored canned good, kept in a dark, cooler area of the house, can keep for years past the expiration date. Eggs. When it comes to spoiling, there is a very simple way to tell if your egg is good: in water. If it sinks to the bottom, it is fine to eat. If it floats, throw it out. Most eggs will stay fresh for up to a month after the sell-by date. Bread. If a person freezes bread, it will keep for significantly longer than leaving it in the bread box or refrigerator. If your family eats a lot of sandwiches, it might make sense to stock on bread and freeze it. Pasta. Because it's a dry good, pasta will keep much longer than the expiration date says. There is a relatively simple test for freshness. If it feels stale or has a funny smell, throw it away. Water. Despite having an expiration date, bottled water actually never goes bad. Packaged greens. Lettuce, spinach, and other greens will sometimes look wilted if left in the fridge for too long. However, a cold water bath can revive these greens, making them perfectly edible. Potato chips. Surprisingly, potato chips will stay fresh for months after their expiration date, with proper storage, of course. This is because they are usually highly processed. If they smell or taste stale, then obviously they need to be thrown out. Mayonnaise. As long as your store-bought mayonnaise jar has been stored at the correct temperature, it can actually be used 3 to 4 months after the expiration date. Hard cheese. As long as the cheese is stored at the correct temperature, cheese can be eaten up to 4 weeks after the expiration date, even if the cheese has been opened. Dry goods, crackers, chips, etc. Similar to potato chips, other dry goods can live long past their expiration date with proper storage.